The sound of raindrops tapping against the sleek hood of his black luxury car did little to soothe Marcus Caldwell's growing irritation. His assistant's message had just confirmed it. The blind date he had reluctantly agreed to attend was cancelled. Again, Marcus, a billionaire known for his sharp business acumen and colder-than-ice reputation, had grown used to people bailing on him. But he had thought, perhaps naively, that someone, anyone, would brave a rainy Friday evening to meet him. He leaned back in the driver's seat, scrolling through his phone, when movement caught his eye. A woman, drenched, with a stroller in tow, was huddled near the sidewalk, her coat doing little to shield her from the storm. Her hair plastered to her face, mascara streaked down her cheeks, and her lips quivered as she rocked gently back and forth. Marcus's first instinct was to look away. He didn't do helpless women or dramatic rescues. Yet, something about the way she hugged herself, as if carrying the weight of the world, tugged at a corner of his mind he rarely acknowledged. He opened the car door. "Hey," he said cautiously, his deep voice cutting through the rain. "Are you okay?" The woman looked up, startled. Her eyes widened, not at the billionaire standing before her, but at the concern in his voice. I'm fine," she managed, her voice cracking. "Just life, I guess." Marcus frowned. "Doesn't look fine to me. You need a ride somewhere. Shelter from this downpour at least." For a moment, she hesitated, scanning him as if she expected a trap. Then, slowly, she nodded, pushing the stroller closer. "Thank you. I don't really have anywhere to go right now." He gestured to the passenger seat, and she climbed in, the baby gurgling softly in the back. Marcus started the engine, rain pelting the windshield, and something shifted in the air between them, a fragile bridge forming from shared humanity, from unexpected vulnerability. For the first time in years, Marcus felt the rigid walls of his carefully constructed world begin to crack. The cancelled date no longer mattered. He had found someone real, someone struggling yet resilient. And perhaps, just perhaps, she was the one person who could remind him what it meant to feel. The car moved through the rain-slicked streets, the windshield wipers carving rhythmic paths through the storm. Silence filled the cabin at first, the only sound the gentle gurgle of the baby in the back seat. Marcus stole glances at the woman beside him, noting the way her fingers twisted the edge of her sleeve, knuckles pale from tension. "I'm Marcus," he said finally, breaking the quiet. His tone was neutral, but not unkind. "You don't have to tell me your whole life story, unless you want to." The woman's lips quivered in a half-smile. "I'm Lily," she replied, eyes still on the rain streaking past the window. "And, well, I suppose my life story would mostly be stress, bad timing, and this little guy." She gestured toward the stroller, and the baby gave a happy squeak. Marcus couldn't help the smile that tugged at his lips. "He's adorable. Looks like he's keeping you busy." "You have no idea," Lily said, her voice softening. "Some days it feels like I'm just floating, holding on, hoping I don't mess everything up." Her gaze dropped to her hands, twisting nervously in her lap. "It's just hard, you know." Marcus's expression softened. He was used to seeing people crumble in boardrooms, under financial pressure, under scrutiny, but this was different. Raw, human, unshielded. "I know hard," he admitted. "I don't usually show it, but life throws punches no matter who you are. Even billionaires." Lily's laugh was small, almost a whisper, but it broke some of the tension. "Well, I think you might have it easier than most," she teased lightly, though her eyes carried a weight he couldn't ignore. "Maybe in money," he said, a flicker of honesty in his tone. "But that doesn't shield me from the loneliness or the mistakes. People assume because I have it all, I have no struggles. They're wrong." Lily nodded, the storm outside fading into the background of their shared understanding. "I guess we all have our battles," she murmured. "Some just don't see them." For a moment, they drove in silence, but the silence was no longer awkward. It was comfortable, a quiet recognition that two people, strangers until an hour ago, had found a fragile connection in the middle of a storm. Marcus glanced at her again, catching the reflection of her tired, yet determined eyes. "You know," he said, "maybe tonight wasn't supposed to be about a date. Maybe it was about this. Finding someone real." Lily's lips curved into a small, tentative smile, the first genuine one of the night. Maybe, she whispered. Maybe it was. The car slowed as they approached a quieter street, the rain finally easing into a drizzle. Marcus glanced at Lily, noticing the dark circles under her eyes, the faint tremor in her hands. He realized she had been holding herself together all day, juggling fears and responsibilities he could only guess at. "Where are you headed?" he asked gently, not wanting to push but needing to know how far to drive. Lily hesitated, biting her lip. "Just somewhere I can stay dry for a while. My apartment's not suitable tonight. Leaks, heating issues, a whole list of disasters." She laughed nervously, a little sound that made Marcus's chest tighten. "It's pathetic, really." "Not pathetic," he corrected softly. "Life happens. Things break. People struggle. It doesn't make you any less capable or brave." Her eyes met his in the rearview mirror, and for a moment, the rain-streaked city seemed to vanish. "Brave. I'm just surviving," she whispered. "You're doing more than surviving," Marcus said, voice firm yet soothing. "You're raising a child on your own, keeping it together in circumstances that would crush most people. That's strength." She looked down again, twisting her fingers in her lap. "Most people don't notice that," she admitted, her voice breaking. "Everyone sees the failures, the mistakes, never the small victories." Marcus leaned back, thinking of all the deals, acquisitions, and boardroom conquests that seemed monumental but felt hollow in comparison. "Maybe," he said carefully, "people like me just forget what matters. We see numbers, transactions, status symbols. But courage, resilience, that's invisible. And it's rare." Lily's lips quivered, and she blinked rapidly to hold back tears. "I guess I never expected someone like you to understand that." Marcus's hand moved slightly, as if reaching out but stopping just short. "I'm not perfect," he admitted. "I'm wealthy, yes. But I've been alone in ways that money can't fix. I know loneliness, fear, regret. I know trying to hold yourself together when the world feels heavier than you are." For a moment, they sat in quiet understanding, the baby gurgling softly between them. Lily's tense posture softened, her shoulders relaxing just enough to let him see the humanity beneath the exhaustion. "You really get it, don't you?" she whispered, almost to herself. "I try," Marcus said, offering a small, tentative smile. "And tonight, I think I was supposed to meet someone real, not perfect. Someone who isn't afraid to show the cracks. That someone might be you." The rain had stopped entirely by the time Marcus parked outside a small, warmly lit cafe. Steam rose from the pavement, carrying the faint aroma of coffee and baked goods into the car. Lily shifted in her seat, the baby now fast asleep against her chest, and she let out a soft sigh. "This is as far as I go," she said quietly, her voice carrying a mix of relief and hesitation. "Thanks for everything." Marcus turned to face her, the rain-streaked city lights reflecting in his eyes. "Lily, wait," he said gently. "You don't have to say goodbye just yet." She looked at him, puzzled, wary. I don't know. I shouldn't. This is crazy, I know." "It's not crazy," he said firmly. I want you to know something. Tonight wasn't about a blind date. It was about finding something real. And I think I've found that with you." Lily's breath caught. She had been so careful, so guarded, protecting herself and her son from disappointment. Yet here was a man, someone she never expected, saying the words her heart had longed to hear. "Marcus. He held up a hand, cutting her off softly. "I'm not asking for answers tonight. I'm asking for honesty. From both of us. I don't want perfection. I don't want games. I just want to be here. With you. For him." He gestured to the stroller, where the baby stirred slightly, stretching tiny hands toward them. Tears brimmed in Lily's eyes, unrestrained now. "I don't know what to say," she whispered. "I've been alone for so long. I don't even remember what it's like to have someone who actually sees me." "I see you," Marcus said, his voice low but unwavering. "Every part of you. The cracks, the strength, the chaos, the love. I see it all. And I don't want it to end when you walk away from this car tonight." For a moment, silence fell between them, charged and intimate. The city hummed softly in the background, a gentle counterpoint to the storm they had both survived. Lily's hands trembled as she reached for his, and he took them without hesitation, their fingers intertwining naturally. "I think I've been waiting for someone like you," she admitted, a small, hopeful smile breaking through the tears. "Then let's stop waiting," Marcus replied, his grin shy but genuine for the first time in years. "Let's start something real." The baby stirred again, and they both laughed softly, the sound warm and full of promise. Outside, the world was wet and gray, but inside that small car, amidst the quiet and the gentle glow of city lights, two lives collided. And for the first time in a long time, neither of them felt alone.